Are you partway through writing your novel and feeling utterly uninspired? Do you find yourself looking ahead to the conclusion of your story and thinking, I just don't have the energy to get there? Well, stick around because here are my top 5 ways to rediscover your inspiration and get writing again. Number 1, rediscover your inspiration. You started this novel because there was some idea you wanted to explore, a relationship you wanted to tease out, or a genre you wanted to test. But as the days and weeks have gone by, you've moved further and further away from that original idea and the excitement that it first prompted. So, sit yourself down, grab a pen and paper, and write out what it was that originally inspired you to start this novel. Find your initial notes and reread them. Mull over that inspired idea and think about the direction your novel has taken. It could be that you've strayed too far from that original idea and you need to bring the story back to that starting point. You might need to backtrack or change a few things. Rethink the direction of your story, reshape the novel, and rediscover the initial passion that got you started with the project in the first place. Number 2, interview your characters. Now this one might sound a little bit strange, but bear with me. Why not sit down somewhere quiet and interview your characters? Ask them about how they feel in their current position within the story. Have them tell you about their doubts, their fears, questions. Write it all down as though you were sitting in a room with them conducting an interview. This simple exercise will do 2 very important things. Firstly, you'll be connecting with your protagonist and hopefully getting to know and love them even more than you do now. That in itself should help inspire you to keep writing and get excited about the story again. Secondly, the process of asking and answering questions will likely bring out new story possibilities and might reveal changes that you need to make in the direction of your story. Interview your protagonist, your villain, ancillary characters, ask questions, explore possibilities, and once the interview is over, identify the most thrilling and engaging parts of the discussion and start adding them to your novel. Number 3, skip ahead to the good bits. If you're anything like me, there will be some parts of writing that you love more than others. For me, I love dialogue. Now, I don't mind action sequences and scene descriptions and those sorts of things, but dialogue is what I love most. I'm also a very impatient writer, so I need to get to the point quickly, and I can't stand it when I have to describe characters in lengthy detail, or narrate one character moving around a room or going from one place to another. Any of that stuff. Just get me to the intense dialogue or start throwing punches. When I get bored with writing, it's often because I'm focusing on those sections of the story that I really struggle with. So to get around this, particularly when I'm writing my first draft, I simply skip them all together. I write the word more in capitals and then move on to a more exciting section of the story. During the second draft and editing phases, I'll come back and I'll flesh out those sections that I've skipped. But for the first draft, efficiency is everything. So if you're getting bogged down in your writing, skipping ahead to the good bits might be the way to go. Number 4, sell your novel to a friend. One of the easiest ways to get engaged in the writing process again if you're struggling is to sit down with a friend and tell them about your story. Find someone that loves to read and loves your work, buy them a coffee, sit down and start outlining your story to them. Allow your friend to interrupt and ask questions, explore new ideas together, tell them where you're struggling to stay motivated, and so on. This will do 2 great things for you. First, just by talking about your novel, you won't be able to resist getting excited about the project again. Going through the initial idea that started you on this journey, through character descriptions and key plot points, will likely generate a lot of interest and excitement within you. This might be all the motivation you need to push through the doldrums and get writing again. And secondly, discussing your novel with a friend is a great way to help you identify ideas and new possibilities for your story. Bouncing your thoughts off another person and getting an outside view of your story is a great way to inject your novel with life and possibility. Number 5. Build a better protagonist. One reason you might be struggling to power on through your novel is because you're just not that excited about your protagonist. It could be that they've changed from the original concept you had for a main character, or you were never really able to lock in your protagonist clearly. You're following on dutifully, moving your character here and there, having them interact with others, face new threats and challenges, but it all just feels a little meh. So it might be time to build a better protagonist. Give them deep flaws, a nasty habit, sharpen their tongue a little, change their age, their vocation, their hairstyle. Go to your character profile and carefully examine how they were constructed. And if you don't have a character profile, maybe that's part of the problem. Now's a great time to write one. Get rid of anything that isn't necessary and remove those aspects that make your protagonist feel boring to you. Then add in some new elements and rebuild from there. If that doesn't do it, you might need to consider scrapping your main character altogether and spending some time constructing a new protagonist that you can really get excited about. Yes, it will take time and effort, but there's no point struggling on with a protagonist you just can't get behind. If you're bored, odds are readers will be bored too. So it's time to build a better protagonist. Now, hopefully some of these ideas will help you if you're getting bored partway through your novel. If you're struggling with something specific, why not add it to the comments and I'll see what I can do. And in the meantime, if you want to know how to build a better villain, check this out.